going to get started on the next one, but I've been advised of a couple of things. It's Loaves and Fish's Food Pantry. Okay, that's what I couldn't remember, and I'm no longer allowed to taste with my fingers. I have small spoons up here. So, I know. What are you going to do, you know? Right, you know, it's Classic Wine Imports. That's the guy that was up there. He brought all this wine tonight. I hope you guys like it. He'll have, it says here, he'll have 8 to 10 wines, and he'll be there for an hour and a half. Been to one of them. He was there with 16 wines, and he was there for about 4 hours, and it was a blast. Dinner. Right, we're going to do dinner. We're going to do the harvest chicken. We're going to start off by prepping everything. How's that? We're going to start off with some apples. The harvest chicken is something that we actually made up. It's not. This is one of our original things that we did. It's probably been done other places, but this is something we came up with when we were all in the kitchen one day playing around. And so I've got some pears and apples, and I'm just slicing those pears and apples into wedges, okay? Cut right around the core. So I've got those cut, pears and apples. While should have done this first. I've got some onion here that I want to, I'm just going to cut this real thin. And what I want to do is I want to preheat. I've got a pan preheated, but it's hot, and I've got a little oil in there. In past shows, we've actually lit this thing on fire, but you guys are far enough away not to worry. So we're going to saute some onions in there. Yeah, that's good. What I like to do is I like to get them going just for a second. And I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. What the salt does is it sweats out the liquid out of the onions and helps them cook a little bit more evenly and softens them up a little faster. Okay? I've got those onions going. Can you see that? That's pretty good. And I'm going to put a little bit of splash of white wine in there so that the water will, and we're going to cook that white wine right out of there. I think we're good. I don't think those things going off is included in the rent. I've got this going. I'm going to move this up to the one side of the pan. The little flour here, and I've got some chicken that I've already cut. It's all cleaned. Little chicken cutlets. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. I'm going to add that chicken right into the oil. This is acorn squash that we did. Right. So that's done too, and if you look at that, it's cooked, it's real soft. But this outside really makes a nice shell. It's a little bit leathery after it's cooked in the oven, so it makes a nice shell. And what I'd do is, at this point while this is going, I'd pop this into the oven or even in the microwave for just a couple of seconds to make it warm, and have it ready to go on the plate. So we just got a little bit of flour dredged in there so that we can get it brown, and the onion just starting to brown as well. I'm going to add some apples and pears into this, and so now I'm getting that to the bottom. I can't help it. Butter makes everything better. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in here. I'm going to add some more white wine. Campari, just a little bit because it is bitter. Okay? Just a little bit of Campari, and again, we're going back to the spice cider. Okay? The cider is very sweet, but I add a little bit of brown sugar into that as well. Okay? Then fresh sage. And I'm just going to roll that over. I pulled the sticks out, and I'm going to chiffonade that up into, okay? The sage goes right through it real nice. And finish it off with some pecans. This is dried up. a little bit, so I'm going to refreshen with a little bit of white wine. Go for just a little bit of butter. It's just a little bit, and I'm going to swirl that in, and what that does is it just makes a nice beurre blanc on there. And then right into the warm butternut squash. If you have a bowl, you can use a bowl, and we're just going to fill that thing right up. Overflow it right onto the plate. Okay. Finish it off with a nice sage leaf on top for a garnish. And that's it. And we're ready to go. And that's a great fast dish. That's real different. All right?
That's the Jingle Bell Ride.